All right, welcome back, everybody. We are on the challenge levels, which are just as important as the rest of the lesson. So I'm going to do A, B, C, and D with you guys, and then I'm going to let you go off on your own for E and F. So we're going to start with A up here with the twin spirals. All right, it says twin spirals. These spirals turn and change size in opposite ways. Run the code to see what is making the spirals shrink, grow, and turn. Add code so that the spirals switch what they're doing when the mouse is pressed down. All right, so we're going to run. All right. And then we're going to use an if else statement. All right. So all of this is going to happen if we don't do anything. Okay. Which means that if the mouse down is pressed, we're going to take and steal this code right here. And we're going to paste it right here. And then I'm going to run them in the opposite direction. So instead of plus, we're going to minus. Instead of minus, we're going to plus. All right. All right, so let's see if I did that correctly. We're going to show the blocks. We're going to reset. We're going to run. So it's running normally. And then, ooh, ooh, ooh. Is it supposed to get that big? Huh. I don't think it's supposed to get that big. So just to make sure I didn't make a mistake, we're going to start over. We're going to run it. Oh, I mean, I guess, okay. So I guess, huh. All right, you know what? I'm gonna go back to my latest version because I think I know what's happening here. All right. So okay, it didn't actually save. That's fine. I can do it again. All right. So if statement, we're going to take all these, we're going to put them in here. We're going to go back in here. We're going to do the mouse down, and then we're going to show text. I'm going to steal all this code already written. We're going to paste it again because why reinvent the wheel, I ask. And then we're going to press negative instead of positive. We're going to press positive instead of negative. And then I'm going to, I don't know if I need to, but I'm going to flip these two. So instead of divide, we're going to multiply. Instead of multiply, we're going to divide. There we go. It's completely flipped for sure this time. All right, so we're going to press run, and we see that happening. And then I'm going to do this, pressing the mouse, and we can see that it's reversing. So then I'm going to let the mouse go, and it's reversing again. All right, so we did what we needed to do. We're going to press finish. That was interesting. Let's go to B, follow the mouse, beginner. Okay, mouse X and Y. One of the simplest ways to take input is just make a sprite follow the user's mouse position. You can get the X and the Y location. Oh, let's go back there. Hold on. You can get the X and the Y location of the mouse using world mouse X and world dot mouse Y. This follows the pattern you learned with sprite properties. World is the name of the object. Mouse X and mouse Y are the names of the properties. So do this. You're going to make a B sprite follow the mouse around the game area. The B image is already loaded in the animation tab for you. So create a B sprite. Let's do that first. So B, okay. And B, 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 there we go. All right, one is done. 2, update the position of the sprite to the position of the mouse inside the draw loop. So we got a draw loop right there. Fabulous. All right. Okay. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be this, where it's going to be b dot x gets world.mouse x. Maybe. Let's see. So if we run it, oh, we need a background too. Background. We're gonna make that light blue, it looks like. All right, let's try this again. Reset, run. Hmm. Hmm. Update the position of the sprite to the position of the mouse inside the draw loop. What am I forgetting? Are you yelling at your screen? Are you like, it's right there, you idiot? Yes. Okay, so first off, I don't see a B. Oh, you know why? Because I forgot what happened, what we learned a couple lessons ago. Okay. All right, that works. Okay, whew, I feel so much better. I was like, ooh, I'm about to embarrass myself. All right, so we got that. Now we got to do the other one. So we've got b.y world mouse y. All right. So reset, run. And there we go. Wherever the mouse goes, the bee will follow. All right. There we go. Okay, so that's all we had to do. Okay. Whew. And we did that from scratch. Good job, y'all. All right, so let's finish this. Let's move on to the next activity. We're halfway there. So follow the mouse advanced. Ooh, this is going to be fun. So random around point. Now that you can make the bee follow the mouse, let's make a bee fly around the mouse as shown in the picture on the right. This right here. In order to do this, you will need to add a random amount between -50 and 50 to the mouse X and mouse Y. You already have a bee sprite that follows the mouse. Check. Update the X and Y location to be randomly close to the mouse as described above. Ooh. If necessary, use the world frame rate block to slow down the animations and find the best frame rate. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and add that. That's fine. We'll say 5. Okay. Where did I get 5 from? I made it up. We'll see. We might lower it. We might make it better. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, what I think I'm gonna need to do here is I think I'm gonna need to add. So we're gonna take this out for the moment. We're going to say yep, we're gonna say world.mouse y. And then we're going to say a random number between -50 and 50. Okay. So if I did that correctly, run. All right. So we can see that it's working on the X. Now I got to do that for the Y too. So let's toss that out. And then we've got to have this right here. So world.mouse X. Oop. Random number -50, 50. And then we got to toss that out. We got to say world.mouse X. There we go. All right. I mixed up my X and my Y, but I'm back. There we go. So it's going to float around my mouse. Cool. All right. Extra challenge, add 3 more bees that follow the mouse in the same way to make a swarm of bees. Well, if we did B1 and B1 and B1 and B1, then I could theoretically copy this and say B2, 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 and then let's bring back our original B. There we go. All right, so then copy this We're going to say B, B, B1, B1, B2. Uh-oh. Misspelled. B2, B2, B3, B3. All right. 1, 2. Oh, I make myself laugh sometime. 3, 3. There we go. So if we reset and run, we have a swarm of bees. All right. Okay, well, let's press finish. One more to go, guys. Shake the salt. Here we go. So we're going to press run. All right. Mouse did move. We can use Boolean expressions to check whether or not the mouse has moved. The mouse did move block will return false if the mouse is still, but true if the mouse has been moving. So do this. Right now, this program just displays a salt shaker sprite. You'll need to use mouse did move block so that you can shake the salt by moving the mouse back and forth. Add a conditional that checks if the mouse moved. If the conditional is true, rotate the salt sprite randomly to the left or right. Okay. So if else, we need an if else. We need if mouse did move, then we need a salt dot rotation, salt dot rotation plus -50 plus random number -50, 50. All right. Let's see if that works. Reset run. There we go. You could even say -15 and 15. So then it's a little more realistic. Reset run. Oh. Shake that salt. Shake that salt. All right. Else. Do we need an else? I don't think we do, because if the mouse doesn't move, the shaker's not going to move. If the mouse does move, the shaker will shake. All right, so I think we did that. We're going to finish here. So then these last two are changing emoji and changing food. So use what you've learned to create an emoji work of art that changes whenever the mouse is pressed. And then changing food, use what you've learned so far to create a scene with your favorite food that changes whenever the mouse is moved a certain number of times. So I would say definitely do A, B, C, and D, and then I would say do E or F, or if you're a superstar, do both. But get as much practice as you can, because the more practice you have, the more comfortable you feel with the tools, the easier the journey is going to be with what's coming next. All right, so with that, we're going to press finish, and I will see you on the next lesson.